Hello and welcome to Telegraph Studios. I'm Alistair Greener. Now, I was reading in The Guardian that central government are about to cut budgets to local councils by up to 7%. And of course, this is creating a lot of fear amongst the general public about how their services might be impacted. Now, there are experts who would suggest that a business case for change could help councils achieve the same, but with less money. To help us understand exactly what that means, I'm joined by Keith Stagner from T Impact. Good morning.
Good morning, Alistair.
Now, looking on your website, you offer help to organisations to develop a business case. Is this something that you're targeting predominantly at younger organisations?
Well, let me just correct you there, Alistair. So it's not a business case, as in a business case to establish a firm. It's a business case for change, which is crucial for all companies, and it's a matter of survival, whether they're mature or startups. But even organizations that are renowned for innovation and change don't always get it right. If you take Apple with their Maps product, Google with Buzz, but techniques exist to build quality in, ensure your customers get what they actually need, and it can also reduce your operating costs by 40 to 60%.
So this is clearly not just about young organisations, it's very much a case for established ones as well. So how big a problem is this?
Well, let me give you a few numbers, Alistair. UK businesses spend £18.8 billion a year on change and transformation programs. 84% of those are challenged or fail, meaning that they don't deliver the promised business benefits. That's £15.8 billion spent a year, which is equivalent to what we're going to spend improving our national rail system over the next 5 years.
I mean, £15.8 billion is an enormous amount. What's actually behind all of this?
Alistair, you read the paper every week about a major catastrophe from a bank or another large organization. And you think, how do they get it wrong so often? Well, the truth of the matter is that these organizations, they're not one organization. They're comprised of many. So they've grown over years with acquisitions. Each of those acquisitions have different functional department. And in each one of these, they've got different teams and different job functions. And across all this organization, they're making changes. And when they introduce changes, they don't always understand, even though they're made with the best intention, they don't always understand the impact they're having on others. So you get these series of uncoordinated changes happening across quite a complex organization. So when we do prepare a business case for change for executives, they're justifiably skeptical about any kind of benefits they're going to get out of a technology spend. So what we need to do is ensure that we're not making changes, 200 organizational changes. We're making one change that's coordinated across all these organizations. And the way we achieve that is by having a process-driven approach for impact analysis.
Many organisations will say, well, we've got this in place already. We're doing this. We have systems in place. So what is it about their methodology that's not working?
So almost all organizations prepare a business case, you're right, but they prepare them for quite often a very narrow use. So they're used to secure funding, to secure sponsorship, to prioritize one project against another. And then quite often they're put on the shelf, not looked at again until late in the delivery process. What ends up happening is they lead to rework because they don't understand all the impacts until it gets to delivery, and then they're having to rework their design. They don't get the actual change delivered because the people that are receiving the change haven't been involved, haven't bought into it. They don't believe in the change, so they resist it when it's effectively forced on them. And the cost and benefits aren't believable because the costs go up, the benefits go down as they uncover more and more through the course of the project. Combined with that, they quite often try and define right at the beginning what is it they're going to deliver, so they try and define it and design it before they start. Well, the reality is you're jumping on a moving train here. Your business isn't sitting still. So the business is evolving and changing while you're delivering your change program. So you need an approach that allows you to learn and evolve while you're actually delivering.
So let's talk about your approach. Is this a one-size-fits-all?
We use a similar approach for both mature and startup organization, and regardless of their process maturity. And our approach has 6 steps in it. The first is we define the change in terms of outcomes. The second is we establish a baseline for their current mode of operation. Then we define the impacts, and then we quantify what those impacts are. We define how we're actually going to build change support, and we actually work actively to build support. And finally, we define the approach that's going to work for driving this change into your organization.
You mentioned earlier about the benefits for an organisation. Could you give us an idea of typically what those benefits would be?
Well, in addition to the improvements in customer service, because we've now got consistency in the way we deliver, so customers know what they're going to get, and we've reduced the amount of time that we actually take, so we deliver it faster, and we deal with exceptions better. We can also improve operational efficiency up to 40 to 60%.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Thanks for telling us more about Business Case for Change and what the implications are for businesses. Keith Stagner from T-Impact, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Alistair.